everyone, happy Monday. I hope you guys are doing well, having a great start to your week. Excuse the mess behind me. I just got my room painted. Isn't it super pretty? It's really purple. So just excuse the mess while I rearrange and get everything back in order. But if this is your first time catching me live or on the replay, go ahead and put this emoji down in the comments so that I can say hello and welcome you to my channel. Make sure that you have hit the subscribe button and that you have also hit that bell so you're notified whenever I go live or post a video. And then if you are interested, I love to send out cards. And I do send out cards that I create from my lives. So down in the description, look for that little rainbow emoji. You can sign up for my email list as well as my birthday card list and just mailing list. And then to help you guys out down in the description for anything you may need, there is a video one for this bundle. So if you haven't seen the video one, I'll show you the cards here in a few minutes. Look for that little potted plant emoji that has the link to that video one. Again, the email and card sign up list, that is with the rainbow. If you are local to the Indian Trail or Monroe, Charlotte, North Carolina area, I do monthly in-person classes, so you can sign up by looking for that little apple emoji. There is a link there that you should be able to go in. If you have any problems, shoot me an email. My email is also down in the description there. And if you love this video, you might love more. So I have YouTube playlists, so look for that little camera emoji. And then in the description, there's also supplies for the projects that I have created tonight that are current supplies, and look for that little pencil emoji. I also have measurements down in there as well for a couple of the cards tonight. And if you want to, go ahead and shop with me. Look for those shopping bags. Hey, Nancy, how are you? Oh, I just missed your birthday. Oh, no. Well, happy belated birthday. All right. Thank you for jumping on tonight. All right, let's take a look at our bundle for tonight. So we're going to do the Cutest Crew Bundle. I did do this back, I think it was May that I did this bundle, and I did some really, really cute cards. But guys, I knocked it out of the park this week. You're going to love it. So let me point you down, and I'm going to show you the bundle. So this is our bundle, the Cutest Crew. We have some little birds. I think they're flamingos, but I don't really know. I colored them like they were flamingos. We have these cute little dogs. This is one whole stamp here, as is this. This is one whole stamp. And then we have kitty cats. That's a whole stamp. Our sentiments are, have the best day, so glad we're friends, happy birthday, and just a little hello, which I love this one so much. I've used this stamp, this sentiment, across the board for everything. I come and I pull it all the time. So that's the stamp set, and then we have the dies that go with it. So you can cut out each of the animals here. So we have this one, and this one that cut them out. And then we have some really cool detail dies, is what I call them. See if I can put it the right way. So we have the little kitty cats here, which are, let's see, it's this cat, and I think this cat. These three cats on this side. And then for the little dogs, we have the little running dog, the cute little sitting dog, and this guy right here. So we have these two and this one. You can detail die cut those out. And then the birds, we have all three of those birds right here. You also get some butterflies as well as some really pretty flowers right there. And these right here. You can do like a little border. Super, super cute. And yes, March 16th. Not May, March. Wow, March, really? That's what my note says. So March 16th was the live that I did, the bundle, this bundle first. So this was one of the cards that we made for that. And again, in the description, look for that potted plant emoji. That will have the link for you to go and check out that video if you missed it. We have this cute little tag here. I accidentally tore my ribbon, so I'm going to have to redo my ribbon, but that's what happens when you're painting your room, right? go digging for stuff. So we have this cute little tag here. This is one of my favorite little tags that I've ever made. It's so stinking cute. And then we have this cute little bookmark here where we have the dogs and cats kind of flip-flopping back and forth there. We have the cute little bow. And then our back here. So you can use it as a bookmark or as a tag. And then we did this card here. Super cute. We made them, I think that is Lost Lagoon, Pretty Peacock, and that is probably Pool Party. And this one here we also made. So again, if you are interested in seeing any of these cards and how they were made, the potted plant emoji down in the description will have those set out for you, or have that link set for you, so you can go and take a look at those projects. But for tonight, our first project is this one right here. How pretty is this? I did an alternate with the kitty cats. So we have a green and we have a purple. So here's the one with the kitty cats. And then we've got the little birds here. So cute. We're going to do the purple because I thought it was a little bit easier to see on camera. And we are going to grab all of our parts. So we're going to start with our card base. And this is Petunia Pop. It is retired. But guys, I love my Petunia Pop. And I've got stock in it. So we're using it. It's so pretty. I love it so much. All right. And then we have Fresh Freesia. And that's going to be a matte. This is just a 1/4 inch down. My standard is 11 by 4 1/4, scored at 5 1/2. And then I just go down 1/4 inch each one. Hi Sheila, how are you? Yes, isn't this set so cute? I love this set too so much. It's so, so pretty. All right, let me see if I have, good. Look at me, all nice and good. Got my stamp off paper here. So we have our piece of basic white. This is 5 by 3 3/4, and we are going to do our little stamping. So we have the butterfly stamp and we have this cute little flower stamp. And I am going to start with the flower stamp, which is this one here. And we are going to do, let's see, Fresh Freesia for this one. So I'm going to pop that open here and ink this up. And then we are just going to randomly stamp across our paper. I kind of try to even them out a little bit, space them out around the same amount. And I like to move my stamp up and down and sideways and all over the place because I like it to look random. Here, and we have 2 sides of our paper, so if you mess up, definitely have a second side. That's the best part about our basic white, or really any of our cardstock. All right, and I'm just going to do a couple on the sides here. I love it when it looks like it's kind of going off the page. I just think that's so, isn't that just so pretty? It makes it look like it's its own type of DSP. All right, let's see. I think that's good for that. And then we're going to switch to Highland Heather. And we are going to do our, our butterflies, which I have right here. So we're just going to ink these up. And I did kind of keep these going upwards. I mean, I had some that were kind of going like to the side a little bit, but I kept them all kind of going towards the up side. And, oops, I missed a little spot there. It's okay. And I just fit these in between all my flowers here. Let's see, let's go this way. Get this all inked up. Let's go this way. I hope you guys have enough light to see tonight. I had my office / craft room painted, and they just finished late this afternoon, and I just had enough time to get everything kind of set back up, at least to do the camera part of the live. And I have 2 of my lights, but all my normal lights are in other rooms, safe and sound, so they didn't get paint on them. So next week we will be back to our regular lighting. Isn't this so pretty? All right, and I'm going to do one kind of coming on right there. And then I think we need a little one up here. So let's do like that. Let's put one here. All right, there we go. Isn't that so pretty? Hi, Marrier, how are you? Hey, Amy, how are you doing? Happy Monday, everybody. Oh, man, I have a really juicy pad. I need to leave this one out so I know that, yeah, it leaked on me. Goodness gracious. I guess I don't use this one very much. I didn't get it on me, did I? I'm going to put this one up here and hope I remember that I did that. All right. And while we're stamping, let's go ahead and stamp our sentiment. So I did this with Gorgeous Grape, and I did So Glad We're Friends. So I have a piece of Petunia Pop and Fresh Freesia. So we are going to stamp our sentiment. I think it is this one. Yep, So Glad We're Friends. So we're going to do this in our, whoops, Gorgeous Grape. Hopefully that's straight. Ah, that was pretty straight. All right. Hey, Jay Simon, how are you? Happy Monday. I hope everybody is having a great Monday so far. All right, so what we're going to do, we're going to take our piece of basic white that we just stamped on. Whoops. And yes, I love this bundle too. And if anybody hasn't seen the part 1 video of this, apparently it was back in March when I did that video. I have that linked down in the description for any newbies or anybody that hasn't seen it. Just look for that little potted plant emoji. You can get more fun ideas with this bundle. And if I remember, I'll show them again before we hop off. All right, let me grab our ribbon. So this is one of my new favorite ribbons. It is the Fresh Freesia satin ribbon. It's so pretty. So we are just going to pull a little piece out, and then we're going to snip that off. And at least all my drawers are still full of stuff exactly where I know where they are. Whereas the rest of my room is all over the place. Whoops. All right. So I'm just going to kind of put this, eyeball it where I want it. And I'm going to pull this guy over and tape him down. And then we're going to flip this over. And I'm just going to pull this and look at it head on to make sure that it's pretty straight. And then we're going to tape this one down too. And you can use your tear and tape. I just think this tape is easier. I have a little thing that you just pull it out of the roll and it just cuts it off for you. And it's just so much easier. So I use that. All right, so we are going to pop this up on dimensionals. Dublin, no. No. 1 second, guys. Don't you eat that. Goodness gracious. All right, sorry. If you're just joining, I had my craft room painted. Actually, I had a lot of rooms painted. And And so there's stuff all over the floor still. And my younger dog, Dublin, just got a hold of, I think this is a piece that goes to the little racks that go in the closet. But I didn't want him to eat it. At least I could hear him. All right. And we're going to pull these off. I don't have all my trash bowls. I don't know where those are. We're going to just start a pile over here. It can go on the floor with everything else. All right. Opens this way. Yep. All right. We are going to pop this down. Just like that. Isn't that ribbon so pretty? The nice little satin sheen it has. And then, here we go. We are going to pop up our sentiment as well. So we're going to pop up the fresh freesia as well as our petunia pop. If you can kind of, let's go this way. You can see. Yeah, we're popping both of them up. And got to start a new one of these. I was smart and put some to the side that I could find because I knew I was going to run out. All right, and then we're just going to put this right in the center. Hopefully. That's pretty center. All right, and then I am going to put dimensionals on here, and I'm doing it this way just to make sure it's going to stick to our basic white and not just our ribbon. So we're going to pop these off, and we are going to stick this centered over our ribbon. I always like to look at it kind of head on to make sure it's mostly straight. Oh, come on, off my ribbon. You stuck too soon, sir. Well, we're just going to go with it. It's going to be a little crooked. That's okay. All right, so like that. And then we're going to do our little birds here. So this, I did stamp those, which I have here. This is from the Cutest Crew Bundle. It's this stamp right here. And what I did, I can find myself a piece of basic white. I took my stamp here. I just used the Memento. You can also use the new basic black. I just like the Memento. I bought 2 extra pads so that I could continue to use it because I just like it. And I just stamped that down. So it's going to come out looking like that. And then, let me put the lid on this before I get it on me. We would just take our die, which is going to be this small one here to cut them out. We just place that over them and then run it through our die cut machine, and we will get this right here. And I do get questions about these. I got these off of Amazon. If I remember, I will try to go and find something similar. They don't have these exact ones, but I'll link it down in my description if I remember for the next video. You like the Memento too? Yeah. It's, hey Lynn, how are you? You did finally find me. How are you doing? All right, so we have our little birds here. We are going to do fresh freesia, petunia pop, and this is berry bliss. So let's start with our freesia. So we are going to do this little fella right here, in our freesia, what I'm going to do is I'm going to do the dark first, and I'm just going to line his tail, belly, and his wing. Just like that. Just one little pass there. This is with the dark. And I'm going to go back with my light, and I'm just going to go in little circles and color over top and blend that dark in. And it's going to give us that nice little shading. Isn't that so pretty? You can also go back after it dries and add a little bit more if you want. All right, so we have, those are our freesia. This is our Petunia Pop, and I've only got one. Is this the other one? This is the other one. Okay, so we're going to do our dark Petunia. I found with these, at least the birds, it's easier to do it with the dark first and blend it in, as opposed to doing all light color and then adding in the dark. It doesn't blend as nicely for these little birdies. So we're just gonna do the dark Petunia Pop. If I can get it. We're just gonna go just like that. So we got his little wing and kind of like the little L shape right there. And then I'm gonna take the light Petunia Pop, and I'm gonna start down here at the bottom where I put that dark, and I'm just gonna go in circles and move it on up to the top of his head here and just blend that in. And this one, because they are a little bit similar in shade, I went back over and did it a second time with the dark. Oh, it helps if you do his tail, doesn't it? Poor little guy. Need your tail done. All right, and then we're just gonna, here we go. All right, just like that. Isn't that nice, pretty shading? These guys are so fun to shade with. All right, so we are going to have the light. I need the dark. And we're just going to do the same thing. I'm just going to go right around his bottom here, and then his little wing. So like that. And that's with the dark. And that's Blackberry Bliss. Really like both your color versions. My unique Funless Green. Yes, isn't it fun? I like to give you guys different color options, and I kind of wanted to do some with the kitty cats because I didn't do very many last time. I don't think I did any cats last time, did I? I'm a dog person, so I went towards the dogs, and I was like, I gotta give the people who love cats a little bit of love. So I tried to do a little bit of kitty cats in this one. And I'm just doing the same thing I did with the others. I'm doing the little circles up and with the light, and then I'm just going to go back on his little wing here. Down there at the little bottom. Just to get it a little touch darker. Aren't they so cute? Yeah, and this is such an easy card to go with any color. You can put it in anything. I liked the little pop up. This is Flirty Flamingo that I did. But I really liked the pop of the green here, which is Shy Shamrock. So I was like, oh, when I do this one, I got to do the same thing. And I really like that little pop that it gives. Oh, we got to do our Shy Shamrock. All right, so I'm just going to take my light Shy Shamrock, and I'm just going to squiggle over the little grass blades here. No rhyme or reason, just a little squiggle. I got that on the table. Oh, and their beaks. I did their beaks in light crumb cake. It's around here somewhere. Here it is. And I went over it twice with the light crumb cake. just to get it a little bit darker. The dark crumb cake was just a little too dark, I felt. I wanted it a little bit light, but not super dark. Aren't they cute? These little birds are adorable. All right, so these guys are just going to sit right there. So we're going to grab our dimensionals here and fit that one there. And then let's get a little one here. And then pop these over in my little designated area here. And what I did was I tucked it just slightly underneath the petunia pop, just slightly, just so that it kind of looked like the grass was actually growing out of the sentiment there. Like that. See how it kind of just looks like it's kind of growing right out of there? And then to embellish, for this one, I used the Blooms, adhesive backed Blooms. And this one, I just used the in color green Peaceful Pine. So this is actually shaded spruce, and it's paired with soft seafoam. And this is, the sentiment is stamped in shaded spruce. We've got shaded spruce and, which one? This is Shy Shamrock. And this is that, not shaded spruce, Peaceful Pine ribbon right there. For those that like the green. And I used the Highland Heather color of these. And I know that I used 3 of them, but you guys know I love you, so I'm going to use my pretty little flowers on here so you guys can see how pretty it is. Whoops. There we go. How cute is this? I love it. I like the little bit of shimmer that the flowers give. So cute. And then again, this is a alternate color version with the green. Super, super pretty. All right, are you guys ready for this next one? I don't know if you are, because it is, I feel like I nailed it. It is this right here. How stinking cute is this? A doghouse. I'm going to show you how I made it. Isn't it so cute? So we've got the cat and the dogs here, and we've got the little birds. And then we've got our little, just a little hello, our windows and our door. How stinking cute. And I did do it on all the sides. So for this, oops, I used the gable boxes, right? White gable boxes, which is this right here. This is the label. And I just used one of these. And then, you go in here, sir. I used a couple different DSPs because I went around trying to piece it together. I wanted it to look like wood on the house, but I also wanted it to look like it had like shingles. So isn't it cute, Marrier? It's such a cute little box. I love it. I've loved these little boxes, but I just happened to look at it and I was like, oh my gosh, that looks like it could be a doghouse. So this is from the Waterside Retreat paper, and this is the Blooms Boutique paper that I did here. These are with the Everyday Arches, and I think this is the Scallop, and then everything else is the bundle. So and I do have the measurements down in the description for this, because I don't know if I'm going to remember what they were. So we're going to have 2 pieces, and what we're going to do first is, what I liked to do was put it together. So I like to flip it like this and make sure it's nice and creased. So I'm going to crease this one. Thank you, Leslie. It's so stinking cute. I was like, I had the girl that was here today painting. I went in, I had to come in here to get the little butterflies, and I showed her. She was like, what are you doing? I was like, I need to get these butterflies. Which way does this go? It goes like this. No, it goes like this. And then these. So we have this piece first down, then these sides, and then this guy, if you just push it and keep pushing, it'll go right in there and pop itself in. But I showed her what it was, and she's like, oh my gosh, you made that? I was like, I sure did. So now what I'm going to do is I'm just going to push these down just a little. And push these down a little. And I did do the sides here of, it literally looks like a house, doesn't it? You could probably put this into like a chimney. Wouldn't this be cute as a gingerbread house for Christmas? You could do so many different things with this. All right, so this is the back of this piece here from that Waterside Retreat. We're going to have two pieces. So this piece here is going to go the two sides and the front. And then our second piece is going to go across the back and just slightly over our sides so that we get a nice crisp line all the way across. Because you see, we don't really see a seam. The seams are right here and here, but the way the paper is, it just goes together perfectly. So this is, I think it's 9 by 3 and a quarter, 3.5. Yeah, 9 by 3.5, and then it's scored 2.5 and 6.5. And again, these measurements are in the description, and I know those are 100% accurate because I triple checked myself. And this one is 5, and then I did half an inch on each side scored. And I tried it where I didn't score the paper versus when I did, and I much preferred it where I scored it. So I'm just going to make my lines nice and crisp here. So we've got this piece. This is such a stinking cute little box. I've had so much fun with these boxes. All right, so it doesn't really matter which side because we're not going to see our seam anyway. So we're going to start with our back. And I guess I could put it the correct way up. What I'm going to do is I'm going to glue. I'm just going to put glue here in the center first, because otherwise I get it on myself, and I don't want to do that. And we are going to put this down, and I'm just going to try to make it as flush to the bottom as I can. You can set it straight up and then kind of push it just a little bit down. If you use your liquid glue, it's really good to use your liquid glue for this, I think, because it gives you that time to move it around. All right, so we have this nice and secured. So now we're going to do this, and I'm just going to take my glue and add a little bit here. And I just liked doing it in these sections because it was a lot neater, I felt. It was easier to line it up too. All right, and then I'm going to do this one here. I'm just going to put that down. Make sure that stays. All right, so we've got our back, and then you see we've got our little side here and our little side here. When we go to put this piece, it goes all the way across the front, but it goes right to the back here. It cuts right at the edge, so it's a nice clean line. Oh, it's so pretty. And for this, I started in the center. I figured I got both score lines to make sure I get it where it needs to go. Whereas if I start on the side, I felt like I might get off a little bit. And if you get off on the back, when you fold it over, it's not a big deal. It's not a big deal anyways, but if you want it nice crisp on the front, make sure you do that center first, because look at those crisp lines that you get. Oh, it's so pretty. You guys know I love my crisp lines. I bone fold a lot. All right, so then we are just going to add a little bit of glue here. And I do add it in the center for this just because it's going to be like a gift box, and I want to make sure it's going to stick. Whereas with a card, I wouldn't put it in the middle that much, but this one, I want to make sure that it's going to stay put. All right, and then we're going to do the same thing over here. Get this little, come on, there we go. All right, and I just want to move this to this corner here. I'm just moving what I have already on my paper, just with like the little tip here. And oh, that fits so perfect. All right, here we go. And then to do our cute little roof here, this is the Blooms Boutique paper. Does this not look like a roof? Immediately when I put this paper on, I was like, oh my gosh, I have the perfect paper that's going to look like a roof. It's the back of this piece here. And what I did, because I wanted it to look actually like a scalloped roof, I went and I cut my bottom edge. And I didn't do it, I just kind of fussy cut it. I didn't do it perfect. I just quickly went around and cut. Whoops, here we go. Just cut around each one. If you get a little bit of the line of the scallop, that's okay. It'll still look like it's scalloped. So like that. Isn't that so cute? It's adorable. All right, I was so proud of myself, guys. When I created this, I was like, man, I knocked it out of the park on this one. It was so cute. All right, so we're going to do the same thing here. And these are 4 inches by 1.5, I think. For anybody just joining, in the description, look for the pencil emoji, and I will have the exact measurements down there. And even if you get, like, see how close I got right there? Even if you get really close, you can still fussy cut it and make it look rounded. Need my scissors sharpened. All right, and whoops, one more. There we go. All right, so we've got these two, and what I did for these are going to go from this line right here down just slightly past the DSP here. As if you can see here, it hangs over like an actual roof. Let's put it this way so you can see. So when I measured it to make sure that it would do that. And it's going to hit on each side perfectly. We are going to just fussy cut it up here because it is just so much easier to do that than to worry about cutting it. So I'm going to go ahead and put my glue directly on the box. And I'm doing that because I don't want a chance getting it down at my scallop, because I really want my scallop to be not adhered. And then I'm just going to scoot around. And all I'm doing is I'm not even squeezing. I'm just putting this down and just doing little circles across the glue that I've already got here, helping it to get a little bit closer to that edge, because I definitely want this to stick to those edges. All right, then we're going to line these two pieces up with the side. This is the front, right? Which side's the front? I hope this is the, yeah. Okay. So we're going to line up these two edges with our edge here, these two edges here, and then this edge with our top line right where the score mark is, right there. And that green glue gives you that time to move it around. All right, and make sure we push you over a little bit. There we go. And then see how it just pops. Oh, it's so cute. It's so stinking cute. All right. You guys are going to just have to listen to me say how cute it is, because it's really cute. All right, and we're going to do the same thing over here. So we've got this one. And I'm just going to make sure, yep, that I cut it right. And we are going to do the same thing. Add the glue right to our box. And I'm just going to swirl some of this to the edges. Make sure it's going to stick. And then I'm just going to line it up with that score line, and then line our two sides up with our edge of our box down here. And if you're unsure about where your score line is, you can move your little handle, and that'll help you see if it's too far over, or too far up, I mean. All right, and this one does the same thing. All right, so for this, you can also, if you want to, fold this over. Let's try that. I didn't even think about that till just now. Fold it over. I don't like it as well. We're going to cut it. So I just flipped it, and I just cut right along the line of, oops, the little top part here, just along that line. And I did that for each of them. And I did kind of pull up this piece. It's a little bit easier to get your scissors down there. You can also, if you have an X-Acto knife, you can do that too. I'm just not a lefty. All right, and then we're gonna do this side. Just trim that, and then get you under there. There we go. There we go. A little bit. Is that my front? Darn it, that is my front. Oh well. All right, so we have that. We have our front and our back, and they both still pop up right here. Now to do our two sides, I have two pieces. I believe these are two and a half by 2 3/4. And I'm just going to do the same thing. I'm just going to scallop my bottom. So I just cut it out, and wherever that scallop is at that very bottom is just, that's the one that I cut. Even if it's partly cut across, I just round out those little scallops. There we go, there's one. This one's slightly trickier because we do have our little holes here, but it's not too bad. You can also use an X-Acto knife for that if you want. I just used my scissors and it seemed to work pretty good. It was slightly jagged on the paper, but I mean, it's going to close and open a lot anyways, so it's going to probably, oh man, I messed up that scallop right there. It's okay. So I'm sure it'll get kind of worn from being opened and closed. So I need my scissors sharpened. All right, there we go. So we've got that scallop too. And we are going to move these out of the way so I don't get glue on it. We're going to put the top of our paper, not the scallop is going to go down, our flat top is going to go up, and we're going to line it up with the very top of our edge, our rounded edge up here. And then we are going to, these two sides, we're going to line them up between our little spot right here. So this is going to go there. It looks good. And I'm going to put my glue, again, right on the box. And I'm not going to get too close to the hole there, just because I don't want it to ooze out there. That would be messy. So we're going to do these two lined up with these, and this part, this top, is going to be lined right with that top rounded edge. And if it's slightly off, just use your ink. Use your blending, your Stampin' Blend, and color it. You'll never even notice. Just like that. And then, while that dries, so see we're going to have to cut that piece out. So while that one dries, we're going to do this one. We're going to do that the same way. I'm just making sure yep, it looks good. And we'll put the glue here. It's not super hard. I liked the decorating part of it. I thought that was the most fun. And this would be a cute one to do with kids too. Just have the box already kind of done for them and then give them all kinds of different pieces to add to it. Even if it's not, you know, these Stampin' Up stuff. You get little stickers or whatever, and they can just have fun and make their own little cute little house. All right, get that on there. All right, so we have those two on, and we're going to do the same thing we did earlier. I'm just going to pop that down there so I can cut, and I'm just going to round and cut down my edge. Snip that, and then we're going to do that on this side as well. I'm just kind of trying to put this guy out of the way so I don't accidentally cut him. Here we go. And then I'm just going to snip that. Here we go. And see, I've got a little bit of that white up there. You can either kind of like snip it off or just color it green. And we're going to do this side. And I just kind of start at the rounded part up at the top, and I just follow along this side of the box. Just let it guide me. Tell me where to cut. And you'll know you're on the box if it gets a little bit hard to cut. But the good thing is the box is on the inside, so if you cut it, you're never going to know. All right, and we gotta go this way, and then we are gonna cut that off. Snip him. There we go. So now we have basically our whole top, and for the holes here, what I did, see how I'm going to open this. When I looked at it through here to see where, because it's much cleaner if you poke from the outside than if you go from the inside out. So what I did was I put this up towards the light so I could see where the hole was. I don't know. Yeah, you guys can kind of see right there. See how you can see through and see that's where that little hole is? That's what I did, and I just easily twisted my little scissors right in there, and I made that little hole. And then I followed it up while I'm still looking with the light, and I went up and down. Let's see. You can't see it that way. Let's go this way now. I'm going to cut. I'm going to go in and then cut down. There we go. Just because the way my light is. And then we are going to, I can get my little piece up here. Just cut around. And this doesn't have to look nice. It's going to be covered by our things here. You can also cut a little bit from the inside too. It was a little bit messy when I did it that way. And I didn't go all the way up here. Let me see. I need you guys out of my way. All right. Here we go. And then we're just going to pull that off. All right. We've got that. And what I did to kind of make it look a little bit more not so like I just cut it, I just used my, this is like my take your pick tool. It's just easier for me to handle. And I just ran it across on the inside here and just evened it out a little bit. And then you can go back if you want and you have any extra pieces, you can snip those off. And that kind of gives it a little bit more of a, I just cut weird right there, kind of gives it more of a semi-finished look. There we go. And so we're going to do the same thing here. So I'm just going to look through, find my, where my hole is, see if I can get it for you guys. Maybe, how did I do it last time? There it is, right there. And I'm just going to take one end of my scissors, pop it through real gently, and then we're just going to cut up and then cut down. All right. And then let's cut it this way. And I'm going from the underside up and cut it this way. So that's a little bit easier because then you see where your hole is. And we're going to snip that off. And then this way, let's see, I guess I got to go, let's see, we'll go like this. It's kind of awkward to get in there. All right. It's easier when you're not trying to make sure people see what you're doing. All right. So there we go with that. You can see it's a little bit kind of jagged, and we're just going to go in and round our little corners up there, and then kind of even it out a little bit. And now They're a little, what are you doing? There we go. We're going to put our, get in there. There we go. Put these in. And now we have our cute little house built. And each one of these has its little piece coming off there. And now we get to decorate it. So for the door, I used the Everyday Arches, one of my faves. And what I did was when I cut, I think I've showed you guys this before. When I cut it, let's see. Let me grab one of these as an example. So when I cut this one, it was much longer, but I wanted it shorter. So what I did was I went back and I lined up the holes that are on the die here with, you have such a creative mind. Oh, thank you, Leslie. Thank you. And I lined up the holes to the size that I wanted. And then I ran it through. And I ended up, just because it's me, I put it back up at the top and I ran it through again because I wanted that arch to look really nice and that texture in it. And it kind of gets a little bit, if you can see on this one, you see how it kind of goes away. I wanted you to be able to really see that top part of it. I didn't care so much about the bottom. So I put it back through so that I got a nice crisp edge around that arch there. Get these back in here before I lose one. And so I did a door. This one is Peaceful Pine. And then this one here is gray. It's the Gray Granite. And for this one, I actually lined it up at the very bottom so that it looked kind of like a door. You can see it's lined all the way up at that bottom right there. And I used my dimensionals. Let me just not lose these. Let's put these up here because I will knock those off the table. And we're going to get 2 dimensionals. And we're going to put those there. And then this is going to line our bottom edge of our gray up with our green. Like that. And that kind of makes our little door. And that's the back. This is the front. So this is going to go here. And then we have our 2 windows. So this is the same. It's Peaceful Pine. And this is Golden Glow. I liked a little bit deeper of the Golden Glow than the other yellows because they were so bright. I thought this was a bit less harsh, less bright, kind of like didn't make my eyes go, wow, that's bright. All right, so we're just going to put 1 dimensional on, and then we're just going to center this. And what I did when I cut these, because they're all going to be a little bit different, I actually put the die with the yellow piece on the green piece, and I just kind of eyeballed it to see where it needed to be. And put this one here. Let me show you what I mean by that, because that was not very good explaining. All right, come here, piece. So I had a longer piece. Do I have another long piece? I think I do, right here. These are my example pieces for when I can't decide which size. So I would have had this piece right here, and I wanted it to end above the green. So what I did was I just put the piece on top, and then I took my die and I placed it over where when I looked at it, I could see that I had enough space down there at the bottom. You can also just cut it across and not have to worry about that. You guys just know I'm extra, and that's what I do. So that's how I got them to be that size and fit. Oops, I forgot that one. Let me just toss it in here. I got stuff everywhere, so, oh man. Don't you hate when that happens? It goes through that little hole. I do that all the time. Get in there. Okay. All right. So we have these. We can go ahead and put these down. So the door, yep, I popped the door up. So I'm going to put 3 dimensionals on here. And pop this off here. I'm just going to center this best I can. My little centerpiece is a little off. All right, and I'm just make sure it's at the level at the bottom there. And then the windows I glued. Where's my glue? Right here. So I'm just going to put a little bit of glue here in the center. Get down this corner here. And we're going to put one up here. And you can just cut these out, little squares, out of cardstock too if you want. I just wanted to give you guys like a little bit of an extra, a Cassie kind of card is what all my friends call it. They know when it's a card I made. They can always tell. All right, so that one's going to go there. Doesn't it look kind of like a face? It looks a little bit like a face. All right. Just like that. You could even do this as a haunted house, or you could do a lot of things with it. All right, so now we're going to do our little animals. So we've got this. So I've already cut out the animals that we're going to need, and we're going to do one set of birds, one set of the kitty cats, and then 2 sets of the dogs, only because I wanted an extra flower. I wanted it to be odd number. So I had 3 over here and 2 here, and they only had 1, 2, 3, 4 flowers, and I wanted 5. So that was the only reason I did 2. Put that back in frame there. All right, and then to color these, this little dog and this little dog are both the crumb cake, the light crumb cake. So, and I'm gonna color these all in one, and then I'll show you how I cut them apart, because they don't have to stay together. You can also do this with the detailed dies within the Cutest Crew die set, and not have to color if you don't want to color. But I didn't do too much shading with these, so I just did one coat, and then I went back over his ears just to get them a little bit darker, and then around his little belly and his tail, like that. And then I did the same thing with this little happy little doggy over here, running around. Get the little head there. And again, this is just one coat of light crumb cake. There we go. And then I'm going to go over his ears and his tail and his little belly. All right, so we've got those two. Aren't they so stinking cute? They're adorable. For this little guy, he is light smoky slate, which is this one. So we're just going to color him in. And I got a little scared the first time I used the smoky slate on him because it got really dark. It dries lighter. Because I was like, oh crap, that's really dark. I didn't think it was going to be that dark. But as it dried, it got lighter. And it was the color I wanted. So don't worry if you put it on and it looks a little dark. It's going to dry lighter. All right, we got his little, oh, I missed a spot. All right, so I'm going to do his little tail, his little behind, and his little ears. Because he doesn't have a little belly. And his little tongue, I'm going to do dark. Which one is this? This is blushing, barely blush. Dark, yeah, dark barely blush on his little tongue here. And then this guy, he is light, this little guy right here, he is light gray granite. That's smoky, that's dark, light. And we're just going to do the same thing. Oops, I missed a spot. So we're just going to color his little head. He's so stinking cute. He's like a, what are they called? Are they Yorkshire Terriers? Is that what they're called? The cute little ones that look kind of Scottish. He's so cute. All right, and then we are going to do his ears, tail. And I'm just going to kind of go down his back a little bit. So like that. Aren't they cute? And for the flowers, we're going to do our Shy Shamrock because I wanted it a little bit lighter of a green. I didn't want it so, I wanted a little bit of pop of color, pop of brightness. Just not so much of the yellow. So this is light Shy Shamrock, and again, it is retired, but I think a lot of us probably still have it. It's so funny, when it came out, I did not like the Shy Shamrock color, but it's one of my favorites now. I'm sad that it retired. And then for our flowers, we're going to do light Petunia Pop, light Petunia. And I just start at the edge of the petal and go and swoop my marker in. That's the cleanest way I have found to get my ink on there without it bleeding or me going over the line. All right, we got that one. This, whoops. Oh, and you know what? We got to do one more flower. Let's do this flower. Only because I wanted 5 flowers instead of 4. Okay. And then this one's got to have his little, and I am for the little leaf using the brush tip. Everything else I've used the bullet point tip. All right. And then for their little collars and bandanas, I used, which one is that? That is dark Petunia Pop. This one here. So this guy's got a little collar. He's got a cute little bandana. Color that real easy. All right, and then he's got that. And this guy, wonder why I did that. I might have just picked him because I colored quite a few. I might just picked him because that's actually fresh freesia. We're gonna do Petunia Pop since I have it out. There we go. All right, so there are our puppies. Aren't they so cute? So for the dogs, what we're going to do, we're going to have 2 of them stay together and go here, and then we're going to cut the other 2 apart. So I'm going to take my snips, and I'm just going to cut around the edge of the little dog that is like leaning down. So like this. So we've got, see if I can get these all on my hand here. So I cut these 2 apart from these 2. And I just kind of rounded it out a little bit around the nose just to kind of make it look like it wasn't like just, you know, snipped. And then for this guy, I'm going to snip around him and cut off that flower. Don't want to lose that. Go right there. And then we're going to cut the other side of him. So he's going to be all out by himself. He's going right there. And then, whoops, I'm going to leave the flower at the back of the dog, but I'm going to cut the flower from in front of him. And then, that looks a little weird. Here we go. He's going to go right here. And I just kind of rounded out my little flowers. Around that one, this guy, and this side. Just so it doesn't have little points. So one's going to go there. So we're going to have 3 on this side, 2 on the other. And I know this is a bit extra, but you can do whichever parts of this that you like. I just like to give you guys a really fun, cool project, and then you can take the aspects of it that you like and you can make your own project. So I always think that's the fun part, is you get to create on your own with what you have and make it your style. Or you can copy what I did, that's okay. All right, so we've got 3 over here and then 2 over there. So now we've got to do 2 kitty cats. So we've got this little cat right here, which I thought was hilarious. He's kind of like jumping up behind the dog. And then we've got this little guy who is sitting in the window. So we are only going to color them and 1 butterfly, because the butterfly is going to be right above this little fella. So this kitty cat is light smoky slate. Which cat is he? He's this one. So we are just going to color this one. This is light, right? Yep. It goes on real dark. All right. And then I'm just going to go over his little ears, his tail, and then his little belly here. And then this guy, right? Yep, this one is dark gray granite. That's dark. Maybe that's dark smoky. Dark. That's dark gray granite. No, that's dark smoky. Dark smoky slate. All right. And we're going to color this fella. So we're just going to get his little tail. Are you guys a cat or a dog person? I am definitely a dog person. My 2 fur babies are my children, and I treat them that way. All right, so I'm just going to go around his little leg, his tail, and then his ears, just to give it a little bit of that shading. And then this little butterfly, I did him dark flirty flamingo. Pretty sure that's what that is. I can open that. Yep, dark flirty flamingo. Come on. All right. Now we're just going to cut these guys out. So I'm just going to cut around the side of this cat. And I'm going to cut off the butterfly that is on this guy. So we're just going to have just the kitty cat. And then I'm going to cut these apart, but I'm going to keep the butterfly with the cat that is laying down. And we're just going to cut around that and round this out here. Just so it doesn't look like it's got points on it. All right. And this guy is going to go in this window. And then this guy, he almost kind of looks like a Halloween cat. You know how they kind of get scared and they jump up? Mary, I'm a dog person. Aw, 2.5 years ago. Aw. Cute. A mini Foxy and a Chihuahua. So cute. I love dogs. I've had them pretty much my whole life. All right, so we're going to move that stuff out of the way. So we're going to start attaching. Our little kitty cat is going to be glued. So we're going to glue this down. Whoops, that was a lot of glue. And a little. Let me see. What do I have that I can scoop that off there? I got like a glob stuck on there. I don't want to use my fingers. Well, it's going to have to stay. Let's see if I can get it off this way. There we go. Okay. I want it to lay flat, not poke up. All right, so we're just going to set this fella here. See, make sure that's off of there. And then for these guys, let's start over here. We are going to put dimensionals on the back of this one. And on the back of this dog right here, we're going to put 2 dimensionals on top of each other, because we have 2 dimensionals between our door here. And then I'm just going to put 1 thin dimensional on the flower, because you're not going to be able to tell that it's popped up two times. You can see I just did 1 on that. You can't really tell. You can tell with the dog because he's so close to the door, but you can't tell with the, did I take that off? Nope. You can tell with the flower. There we go. And we're just going to place this guy here. And then I'm going to take my glue, stick a little bit on the dog. And then this guy is going to go up on dimensionals. Let's see. I need a skinny one. All right. We're going to take these, this one and this one. So he's going to sit here in the center. And then we're going to do the same thing with this little dog. We're going to put 2 dimensionals on him, but I'm going to do it towards his body, not his head. Is that, yeah, that's one. All right, and watch out, kitty cat. We're just going to line this guy up where he's kind of jumping a little bit. So this is where we're at. And then we're going to do our little flowers here. So I need this guy. So I'm going to cut a couple thin pieces, and then we are just going to pop them behind the flowers that are already there. Come here. There we go. So I think I have this one over here, right? 1, 2. I'm missing one. All right, this guy, we're just going to stick it going right there. Did it go under? I knew I was going to lose one. It's all good. Whoops. So where'd my dimensionals go? I'm going to put this one on here. And then this is going to go right there. And then we're going to take our little kitty cat, and he's going to have just 1 dimensional. And I am going to put one on his tail only because it's going to be, it's like a gift and it might be opened and closed a lot. So I'm going to make sure he doesn't lose his tail. And we are just going to tuck him behind the little dog and flowers there, like that. Oh, thank you, Linda. Thank you. I have so much fun creating these kinds of things. It's like my favorite kind of thing to do is just to kind of keep, here's the other one, keep creating and adding things. And I really love when I get to use like any bundle at all or multiple bundles. And I can piece them all together, kind of like I did with the DSP. It's fun to go searching and see what I can come up with. All right, now we've got our 3. 3 on one side, 2 on the other. And then we've got our, let's go ahead and do our little, this guy. So we're going to have a little flower on the middle of the door. So I'm just going to put a little tiny thing of glue. And this is just going to go in the center. And then we have a cute little butterfly that's going to go in this other window because it looked kind of bare. Oh man, how am I going to do that? There we go. There we go. And then I have these 2 smaller. One's yellow, one is pink. I think it's lemon lolly, and the other one is fresh, not fresh freesia, flirty flamingo. So I'm just going to get a little tiny dab of glue out, and I'm just going to dab two little dots there and stick them right on. So that was the yellow, and this is the flirty. And then we're going to work on our cute little birds up here. So we have them here. We're going to do these 3 shades of pink. So we're going to do Flirty Flamingo, which is this one here, I believe. Nope, that's Bubble Bath. We are doing Bubble Bath. That's Bubble Bath. Where's my Flirty? Here it is. So we are going to do, like what we did with the dogs, we're going to do a little bit of, not the dogs, the birds before. We're going to do the dark first, and I'm going to do the darkest color in the center. So Flirty Flamingo is going in the center of this bird here. So we're going to do the bottom part of him in the dark Flirty. And then from the bottom, we're just going to do little circles and build it up to the top of his little head. Was he Flirty Flamingo or was he... You know what? He's Strawberry Slush. This guy's Flirty Flamingo. Oh well. We'll go backwards. So this is Flirty Flamingo. Are you guys able to tell these pinks and blues and stuff apart? Sometimes it's a hard thing to do because some of them, they just are kind of very similar. All right. And there we go. I'm just going to add just a touch more. Get him a little bit darker down there. And there we go. So then this guy is going to go Strawberry Slush. Yeah, dark. So we're going to do him. There we go. And so I just did his little the bottom of him and his little wing. And then this is light. Yep. I'm just going to build that up here. All right. There we go. And I'm going to just go back over that with my dark. Like that. It's almost like an ombre effect. And this guy truly is Bubble Bath. So we're going to go dark Bubble Bath on his little tail, down his belly, and then his wing. And then we're going to go back with our light. There we go. So cute. Would love to hype, but don't see the option. I don't think, guys, I'm 20 subscribers away from 1,000. I'm so close. And I think once I hit 1,000, I might be able to do the hype. I think is what I read. All right, so we've got those. We're going to do their little beaks in light crumb cake. Yeah, I'm super close. At least the start of this, maybe like an hour before I started the live, I had 20 more subscribers to go. Getting close. And then Light Shy Shamrock is going to go on our little, whoops. But you can also share. That helps too. Share, like, and make sure you're subscribed. All right, so these, they have to sit up because, you know, they're birds. That's what they do. So I stuck them on a little piece of cardstock. And what did I do with it? It's up here. This, yep, Peaceful Pine. Perfect. Got stuff everywhere. So I am just going to fold it. And then, where's my bone folder? All right, just like that. And then, oops, I'm just going to snip this off. And this guy can go right on the back of our birds. I just want to make sure it's not too tall. This part's a little tall. Because that's what I did with this one. I just kept kind of cutting until it fit. So there we go. Now we can't see it behind. So I'm going to put the glue on my little piece of cardstock and then stick the birds right on. Whoops. There we go. Guys, you gotta be straight. Work with me here. There we go. All right. And then this guy is going to go up top, and you can put him kind of wherever. I had him a little bit kind of crooked. See, they're kind of like facing to the side. So I'm just going to take a little bit of glue. There we go. And we're going to stick that on there. Like that. We're going to let that dry. We're going to do our little, tag there. So that's just a little hello. And that is also from the Cutest Crew Bundle. And I just used the Scalloped Blooms dies. And I did this little, oh, thank you, Linda. I will. Thank you, Christina. Isn't it cute? Could be done as like a little gingerbread house. Any kind of house, haunted house. And so I did this in Memento. And we're just going to ink this up. Stamp this. Oh man, I got my finger right in that. Stamp that right in the center. There we go. And then I have my favorite punch. Thank you, Marrier. So I have my favorite punch, one of the trio punch. This is the little line punch. And I'm just going to punch it. Oh, it's a little crooked. It's okay. And then for this, I took the Golden Glow ribbon and just going to pull a little bit off. Where's my scissors? Right here. Whoops. See, I need my scissors to be sharpened. There we go. I have to look up how to do that. All right, so I'm going to feed my ribbon right through. Pull that through like this. And then I'm going to feed one end through, come on, our box handle. And then, let's see, let's go this way with him. Get my little thing where I want it. And then let's pull these even. Or even-ish. Okay, so we're going to go right there. So I'm going to do a knot. Stay right there. Stay, stay. And I'm going to try to get this in. Yep, in the little groove of the scallop there. So I'm not going to tear it. And then I got to do it backwards so I can get my bow to look right on the front. So then we're going to tie our little bow. Whoops, come here. Here we go. Gotcha. And then we can fuss with our bow. There we go. Sort of not my best bow, but you get the idea. And then you got to at least be even, sir. Excuse me. Now we're going to snip that one. Snip that one. And then to embellish, I just did the little butterflies, the in color butterflies. That's the stamp set. And I did one of 3 colors. I did the Peaceful Pine, Golden Glow, and of all colors, I did the Cantaloupe Crisp, but it kind of went pinkish. It kind of looked a little bit pink instead of orange. Or at least that's what I'm telling myself. But I still think it looks cute. Let's see. We're going to put this guy here. Due to arthritis, I have... Yeah, I'm not great with bows either. I just keep fussing until they work out. Or I stop and then I go back to it. But yeah, I totally hear what you're saying. There's days that I can't do a bow, which is so sad because I like my bows. All right. I think we got it all. That is our final project there. Well, not the final. I have another project, but the final version of our house. Isn't that so cute? And then you can just untie your ribbon, put all your stuff in. It's a cute little gift to give to somebody. So stinking cute. Love it. All right. I have another really fun one. And it is this one here. This is a shaker. Isn't that cute? This is another box. And when you open it, it's got the little happy birthday on the inside. And a different version in color. This is with the kitty cats. This is with the hydrangea hue. And these little stars, I'm pretty sure they are retired. I actually got them from a friend who did one of my classes. Debbie, she brought them for me because she knows I like to do shakers. So these are retired. I don't know that we have any shaker pieces right now, but how cute is that? And then you open it up, you got your little kitty cats. And then you got all the little butterflies flying around. So cute. All right, so we're going to do the yellow, the Golden Glow. Actually, that's Duck. I almost said Donald Duck. That's, what is the duck? Whatever the duck is. I'm not a very good, I don't like that one so very much. So, all right, so we've got our, what is it called? It's going to drive me nuts. Darling Duckling. Can you tell I like that color because I know the name? All right, so this is from the, these are the Scalloped window boxes. That's the little label, but they come like this. Pretty sure you get 8. I think you get 10 of the gable. Yeah, you get 10 of the gable, which is the last project, and you get 8 of these. And we are going to start with our inside piece. And this is the, what did I call it? Everyday, let's see. Everyday Essentials, this paper. This is one of the patterns in there. And I've been trying to figure out how to use this pattern. Because it's pretty. I just couldn't figure out how to use it. I've tried and tried. But this turned out really cute. So we have 3 pieces that are this size. So we're going to have this one in here. We're going to have one for the front. And then we're going to have one that is going to go to be our inside piece. Can you see through the behind the shaker pieces, we have a piece of this DSP as well. So we have 3 pieces of this. This is, the dimensions are in the description. It is 3/8, something and 3/8. 3 3/8. Where did my measurer go? There it is. I think it's 3. Yeah, 3 3/8. each way. It's square. And we're going to start with gluing this down to the bottom here. And this one's surprisingly pretty quick. The last one was a little bit intricate, but I did spend like quite a few hours making that one because I kept changing things. But all right, so we've got our center here. Once we have that in, we can close up our bottom here. So I'm going to pull our pieces here up. Come here. Here we go. Like that. And then we're going to pull these two outer pieces in. There are little slots here that are right in here. These little pieces go in those little holes. And then we're just going to take this piece right here. There's a little score line. And we're just going to fold it over. And then they also have little notches right there. And that's just going to go also in that little hole. I love these little boxes. They're so cute. So there. We've got our front. And I chose this time to glue them on. You don't have to glue them. But I wanted it to open like this and look just like this instead of opening like this. I wanted it to kind of be more like an actual box, I guess. I mean, it is a box, but I think you know what I mean. So I'm going to glue these down. So I'm just going to put a little bit of glue on each one of these one at a time. And I'm just going to line up the edge with this edge here. That's all I did. And you just have to hold it for a second. Christina, are you still on? How's your mom doing? There we go. And we're going to do this one too. Grab our glue. I better put that back in my little folder. And then we're just going to line this up. Whoops, that was not lined up. And okay, there we go. Now we're going to do our little piece out here. So for this, I'm going to go ahead and, because I think it's easier to show you if I close the box. So we're going to go ahead and close our box up. And it does have this little tab here to make it easy to open. So I have the same 3 3/8 by 3 3/8. It's going to go over the front here. What I did was I took the, got them right here, if I can get them, the Scalloped Blooms dies, and grab these fellas out of here. It was this guy, right? No, it was this guy. So the fourth one from the center, it's going to go over that. And how I did this was I took my paper, I lined it up so it was lined up the edges where they're going to go. I looked at the top here. We've got the little point right there. So I'm going to take the point, the dip of my die, and I'm going to stick that right where this point is so that it's going to, you kind of can't see because of the bow, but it's going to kind of line up around the sides. So both scallops are going to be sort of the same. And once I did that, I got my machine here, and I'm going to show you how I did this. So I did it just like this. I'm going to want it like that. I eyeball it here, so these are the same. Sorry, I'm not all the way in the frame here. There we go. I eyeball, so this point and this point are kind of the same. And then I'm going to eyeball and see around the edges that it's somewhat centered. Once and make sure that your paper is where you're going to put it when you glue it down. All right, so that's that. So we've got our points are good, and we're kind of centered around. So I'm just going to stick one piece of tape there, which is not a very good piece of tape. Somehow I got two pieces there. All right, we're going to stick this one here. I don't know how I got this one. It just kind of came off. All right, then we can run this through like this. I purposely didn't run it before so that I could show you how to do it. Let me find my little plate here. So we're just going to, this is not the right plate. It is, where's my plate? Here it is. That's my messy plate. This is my good plate. Do you guys have separate plates? I do. When I do something messy, I use a certain plate. Or if I do an embossing folder that needs this plate with it, then I use that one because it's all yucky. All right, so we have our little piece here. So we're just going to take off, and we can save this little piece here for another project, or you can put it on the inside somewhere. I just want to put my die right back on here because I'll lose it. Getting my house painted in my room. My craft room is a hot mess. You'll see it when I flip my screen, but it's a hot mess. It would be super easy for me to lose my die. All right. If it doesn't fit, flip it around. Is that? How did I have it? There we go. Got it. There we go. And it's not going to be perfect all the way around for the white, and that's okay. I don't think you really even notice it anyways if it's not all the, all the same around. Just as long as it's kind of, the points kind of match up a little bit. So it goes this way. So I'm going to put it this way, and I'm going to put glue on here. Let's see. Just try to get around these little scallops a little bit, and then my corners. All right, and it went this way, right? I think so. Yep. Oh, isn't that pretty? For not liking Darling Darling Duckling, this is really pretty paper. Here we go. So we can see all the way down to the bottom here, but we want to do our little shaker pieces. So what I did, and you know what, I forgot to cut my basic white piece for the inside. No, that's yellow. That's Lemon Lolly. Well, I know why, because I couldn't find my yellow. We might have to use white. All right, so I have a piece of, this is Darling Duckling, I think. Let's check ourselves on that. Nope, it's Daffodil Delight. So it's Daffodil Delight because it matches. This is how I keep my scraps. And it's going to be the same exact size as our DSP here because I did not think that putting a piece of just DSP underneath here, come here, was going to be flat enough, like stable enough. So I wanted a piece of cardstock. So I just cut the, what did I say this was? Daffodil Delight. All these double letters gets to me sometimes. All right, so our Daffodil Delight, we're just going to color, not color. Guys, it's been a day. I got up at 7 o'clock. All right, so we're just going to put that like that. And then the piece that I put on the inside here is Lemon Lolly. And that was 3 by 3. Let's see if I got a piece here. I just couldn't find it earlier. Oops, get back in there. Okay, so we're going to, that's my chair. Whoops. So we're just going to do a 3 by 3. Is that the, yep, that's good. 3. It is 3 by 3, right? Yep, 3 by 3. And again, the dimensions are in the description. Just look for that little pencil emoji. And this is going to go right here in the center of the, we have the cardstock on the back, our DSP on the back. And then on the cardstock side, our Daffodil Delight. We're going to put our Lemon Lolly over top of it. And then we're going to have our little puppies. So I'm going to color these fellas really quick. Oh, look, I was nice. I wrote myself a note so I knew what it was. 3 3/8 by 3 3/8 is the DSP, and then it's 3 by 3 for this cardstock. Okay. So what I did, there's 2 on here. Come here. I am going to just cut this puppy dog off. I probably should have colored this before, but I didn't. All right. So we are going to do crumb cake, light crumb cake. That's what I like this little fella to be. He just looks so cute as crumb cake. And this one, I'm just doing 1 coat, like I did before. And then I'm just going to go over with the same color, the same light, just his ears, his tail, and his belly. And that'll give it a little bit of dimension there. Then we have our light, that's dark, light smoky slate. That's light gray granite. My light smoky slate is our middle doggy. And I did these bandanas in Lemon Lolly of all colors. But I thought it was so cute and such a happy, sunshiny kind of card with the yellow. And I was able to use this DSP because I've been trying, but it was hard to use this one. Yellow is difficult for me because it's so yellow. Does anybody else have trouble with yellow? Yellow and orange. I have a hard time with those. Ears. All right, and then our last guy is, wrong way. I purchased the Pretty Poinsettia class. Oh, okay. And they did a box. I'm making 2. Oh, nice. That'll be fun, Marrier. That's really cool. Yeah, I like these boxes. I know my upline, we had like a, what is it? I guess like a little retreat kind of thing, like a month or so ago. And she had these, created some stuff with these. And I was like, oh, I love these because I hadn't used them yet. It was a little while ago. Oh, you love it because it's so yellow? Yeah, yellow is so pretty. I struggle with it. It just seems so yellow, like it's all yellow. And I like, I don't know, I tend to go pink, blue, and purple. All right, so we're going to do Lemon Lolly for the bandana and our little name tag thingamadoodle, little charm thing he's got. That one, and then this guy here. These guys are so cute. Whoops, there we go. And then our flowers on this one are going to be the dark golden glow. Yeah, golden glow. And again, I just start at the outside of the petal and scoop my pen in, my marker in. That's the easiest way for me to stay in the lines on these particular flowers. And then I did still do the, oh, we forgot his little tongue. We can't forget his little tongue. That's the cutest part of him. So that's going to just be the Barely Blush, the light, dark Barely Blush. But I stuck with the Shy Shamrock for the leaves because I thought it really complemented that yellow. It just seems so dark with the other greens. Oh, I meant to do the brush tip on this one. Oh well. All right, so we've got that. Now, I'm just going to line this up. So we've got, this is our, this side is going to be for underneath here. So we are going to have our Daffodil Delight and then our piece of Lemon Lolly. And then we're going to put down our little doggies where we're going to want them. So right about there. And then we're going to do our Happy Birthday right above that. And this is from the Scalloped Blooms dies as well. I mean, not dies, stamp set. And I did this in black, Memento. This one I was, because it's so thin, it's easier, I feel like, for me to get my ink on it when I do it upside down. Because it's so thin. All right. We're just going to stamp our little Happy Birthday. Whoa, almost dropped that. That would have been bad. We have two sides of our paper, right? All right. Then we are going to glue this down. This guy here. Yep, I got that corner. So this is going to go here for a little inside. And you can leave this blank if you want so you can write in it. I just, for the purpose of showing you guys, I wanted it to have something on it. And then this, of course, we've got to pop them up because they're so cute. They're like the star of the show here. And I had, where did I put those? I had another piece of dimensionals. I don't know where they went. Oh, don't cut that, Cassie. What am I doing? I was going to cut a piece of this. All right, so this, oh man, you're not supposed to do that. Well, fine. I'll do this one here. And then I'll take this side off, and then you'll behave. And then you'll go here. So we can take these off. Whoops. Did that one? Nope, I didn't take that one off. And then we're just going to stick them right down here. Just like that. And then to do our pieces in here, what we're going to do, I'm going to flip this back here. I'm going to grab my adhesive strips. And I tried doing this where I put it on the back of here, or I did it in a square. I don't recommend doing that because your shaker pieces are going to go all the way down in this corner. And in order to get them where like you can still see them no matter where they are, I recommend doing it this way. So we are going to basically go right above our scallop piece like this. We're still going to go so you can't see the turn. So you can't see the, I adhesive strip, but it's enough that it's going to keep our pieces where we can see them. There's nothing worse than your shaker card not shaken very well. All right, and then I just need a little piece. Let's see, come here. And we're going to stick you. You've got to be flesh, dude. There we go. Yeah, you're sticky. All right, and I'm just going to stick that one just like that. Whoops. All right, is that one? I don't trust that one, so we're going to do this. Okay. All right, and then come here. I'm going to take these fellas off, and I have my little pieces right here. And again, I got these from a friend. She wasn't going to use them, and she knows I love shakers. These are little stars, little golden stars. We had these at some point semi-recent. She put them in this little container. I just left them in here. So I'm just going to put quite a bit in here because I think it looks good with a lot of them. And now we're going to take our inside piece here. We want our DSP to be facing towards our glitter, our pieces. And we're just going to line this up as best we can. We don't want to move too much because we don't want our pieces, our stars, to come out, because they will. Trust me, they will. And we're just going to make sure we are nice and solid. So we see happy birthday when we open it. And then here, look at all those stars. That's probably too much, but oh well. You can never have too much glitter. All right, so that's our inside. And then for the outside here, oh, come on. Come on, there you go. We are going to do our little puppy dogs here. So this one, very similar. We're going to light crumb cake this guy. And this one, I kept the flowers on each side. I did one because it's these two guys and then this side. So there's a flower on each side of them to kind of round it out. And sorry guys, this is a little bit longer of a live, although I kind of always do long lives, but because I over explain things. I like to make sure you guys understand how to make it if you want to. All right. So we've got him. We're going to do our light smoky. And had I been smart, I would have colored some of these ahead of time. But with getting my house painted, I didn't think about it. All right, let's not get his bandana yet. So we're going to get his little legs, ears, and his face. And the good thing is these don't take that long to color. So if you're not a big person on coloring, it's these aren't very difficult to color. Get that ear. And then this guy is dark crumb cake. See how dark he is? He's very dark, which is why I didn't use him in one of the other cards that I was talking about. The dark crumb cake was dark. All right, so he is, I think this one and this one are my favorite. The two ends, they're so stinking cute. And let's see, I don't want to get his little tag. All right, and then I think this is a new light crumb cake. dark crumb cake. It's not coloring very well. There we go. All right, and we're just going to do his little ears again. Whoops. His tail and his belly. And again, for the flowers, we did dark golden glow. So we're just going to do these two outside ones. So this one and this one here, because these are the only ones we're going to see. We're going to cut the other ones off. Oh, thank you, Lynn. Thank you. I had so much fun making this one. And then we're going to do light lemon lolly. Did I have... Oh, well, I misplaced it. So we're going to do light daffodil. And we're just going to do each of them yellow. This guy, and this guy. And then we're going to do the green. I like doing this side. All right. There we go. And then this one. And now we can cut these off kind of like we did before. So we're just going to kind of cut around. Oops, there we go. So these fellas go here. And then we're going to cut around our little wild child. He's going to go there. And then this is also from the Scalloped Blooms dies. I think this might be the smallest one. We're going to put Happy Birthday in the center. This is the Happy Birthday that is with the Cutest Crew stamp set. It's a smaller one. I wanted to do a bigger one on the inside, which is why I did that one in the, which one? Scalloped Blooms. So we are going to stamp that down. I just did that in Memento. Whoops. And we can now assemble here. So we're just going to take 3 dimensionals. And I'll tell you, the reason how this box came about was this design, I wanted to put this in the middle, but when you opened it, you could see it underneath. And I said, well, you can't see it underneath. And I didn't like it if I had this and one underneath it lined up together. So I had to figure out a way to get it so that I could stick that in the middle, but not see it on the other side. And this is what I created from that. Trying to figure out how to make my vision work. And I think I did pretty good. I actually liked the, I like those little stars in there. I think they're so cute. They're perfect for it. All right, so these have dimensionals on them. We're just gonna stick them here. Oh, I forgot his tongue again. All right, got his tongue. And this guy is here, and I need one of these. There we go. And I'm going to have him kind of jump in a little bit. And then we're going to do our cute little bow. This is in the, oh, it's right here. Oh, it's not right there. What did I do with it? In the Golden Glow ribbon. Which, oh, it's right here. All right, so we're just going to do a cute little bow, hopefully. Sometimes they don't like to be cute or little. Pull this guy down. All right. I think he's going to be cute and little. Thanks for cooperating. All right, here we go. And I think I'm going to make it a little smaller because that guy's a lot smaller. I guess the box is kind of small. All right, there we go. Now I'm going to use my glue dots, and I did 3 glue dots. I did 1 on each bow and then 1 in the center. I know that's like overkill, but I want to make sure it stays. I don't know about you guys, but the in color ribbon from last year has scarred me. This is just going to go right here in the center at the top because it doesn't stay. Like this ribbon here, it doesn't stay. See, and I've even put extra glue dots. It doesn't stay. So now I'm like, I over glue my ribbons. All right, so we are just going to snip that one. Always snip your ribbon last. And this one. And then to embellish, I have for the inside, these, oh, they're retired. These are the low profile sparkle dots, and these are Darling Duckling, which to me they look daffodil, but my note says Darling Duckling, so I guess that's what it is. And we are going to put, whoops, stay there. We're just going to do 3 of those just to give it a little bit of sparkle. Where? Okay, right there. Oh, man. There we go. So we'll put this one here. Whoops, go there. And then down there. We'll do this one here. Nice. Yeah, I'm going to put you here. There's that one for that. So that's the inside. Whoops. Get in there. I thought I had you in there. And then for the outside, I did the in color dots. And I did those in the Golden Glow. And apparently I did them all in large Golden Glow. The large size. So we will follow along with that. I wonder why I did that. I don't know why I did that, but I like it actually. All right, we'll put this one here. There we go. And that is our little shaker box. So cute. Open it up and it's this. Adorable. All right, I do have one more. You can definitely pop off if you need to. I didn't think that the one earlier the box was gonna take as long as it did. And where did it go? I have it in here. Here it is. This is a pretty quick one. So it's this one here, and it's using this paper too. And I will just kind of show you how to put it together, and then we'll just use this as our example being done. So I have, this is gray granite, and this is basic gray. Then we have a piece of our DSP and a piece of basic white, and they're a little bit, it's a little bit more than what the matte piece is here. But what you're going to do, flip this over, and you're just going to line it up along your edge, and then you're going to do the same thing here. This will line up at your edge. You just make sure that it's going to fit, and once you do that, we're just going to take our glue. We're just going to put a little bit of glue here, and then we'll just glue this down to our DSP. Don't glue it to your mat, glue it to the DSP. There we go. So the glue is right here, and if you flip it over, you just have this little piece here. And then we're just going to put our ribbon across. So we're just going to take our ribbon here. And let me flip it this way so it kind of goes the right way there. And I am going to tape this on. Move all my stuff to get my drawer open. Don't fall, please. All right, so we're going to tape this piece. And then we're going to pull this. Whoops. Tape this piece. And then glue this piece. Get a little bit on that ribbon. I'm sure it's going to stay. Plop that on our mat here. Pop it up with our dimensionals. This. And, oops, don't come off. There we go. This is going to be centered. And then we're just going to kind of lay this out. So these are the Scalloped Blooms dies. This one is Darling Duckling, and this one is Basic White. They're going to go like this. And then we have our cute little dogs. This is all of them together, so it's a whole piece of them. So they're going to go like right about here. And our sentiment, so glad we're friends, is going to go right above it. So now that I know where they're going to go, which is right about there, we're going to grab our so glad we're friends, and then we're just going to stamp that right like that. Okay, good. I didn't get it on his ear. I thought I did. All right. Then the white, it's a little crooked. Our white scallop is going to be dimensionaled to our Darling Duckling scallop. And then our Darling Duckling is also going to be popped up. There we go. So we're just going to pop this one too. And we need one in the middle. And then when we go to put our dogs on, so this is going to go, I got that a little crooked. That's going to go there. And when we go to put our dogs on, the ones in the center here are going to have one dimensional. And if you don't want it to kind of bow down, then put two dimensionals underneath these. But I did one dimensional across all of these, and then the ones, basically the two flowers, I just did one dimensional and I just pushed them down. Because it's kind of, you can kind of see how it's a little bit bowed because they are just one dimensional, but I kind of liked it that way. And then for the embellishments, I used I thought these were retired, but I don't have them listed. But this is Lemon Lolly. These are the Easter assortment. So I just used these lemon lollies up here, and their bandanas are Daffodil Delight. The flowers are still Golden Glow, but their bandanas and their little charms are Daffodil Delight. Super, super cute. All right. Let's see everything we've made tonight. Thank you guys for sticking with me. Didn't think it was going to take so long to make the house project, but you know, it was worth it, right? All right, so we have project 1, It's this one here. And then we have our Amazing Project 2, our little house, stinking cute. And then we have our little shaker, which opens to here. And then we have this one here. So you'll have to let me know down in the comments which one you like the best. I'm pretty sure I know which one's going to be the favorite, but let me know anyway. So we have 1, 2, 3, and 4. And while I have you pointed down, if you did not get to see video 1 for the Cutest Crew suite that I did, these are a little peek of what cards I did in there that you may, this is like a little tag or a bookmark. If you want a little bit more inspiration with this bundle, and then the stinking cute one. So just go in the description and look for the potted plant emoji, and that will have the link for the video 1. But for this one, 1, 2, 3, or 4, let me know which one is your favorite. Your favorite is number 3, Lynn. It's so pretty, isn't it? I'll have to bring you one when we are at Jen's, because we're going to craft, I think. I'll have to bring you one. All right, Sheila likes 2. Nice. Oh, thanks, Marrier. All right, let me go ahead and point you guys back up. All right, so my next live will be next Monday, which is July 27th, 6:30 p.m. And I'm going to be doing the Fun for Fall bundle. It's a little early for fall for me, but I haven't done this bundle yet, so I wanted to play around with it. So we're going to do that bundle next week. So put that on your calendar if you are interested in that one. And if you haven't already, follow me on all my socials. I have Facebook, Instagram, and YouTube. Down in the description, they're all listed. Also, if you would like a card, be on my card list. Thanks, Lynn. Thanks for watching. If you want to be on my card mailing list, you can do that. You can join that in, just look for the little rainbow emoji down in the description, and that will have the link for that. And if you enjoyed tonight's video, go ahead and put this emoji or the word dog down in the comments so that I can say thank you so much for watching. I really appreciate it, especially to the end, because tonight was really, really long. But we made such a cute little dog house. So stinking cute. This is definitely going to be on display in my craft room, my new purple craft room. But all right, thank you guys so much for spending your time with me tonight, and I will see you right back here next Monday for a brand new video. Bye.